Okay. All right, I think we're up and running. We'll see who comes in first. Hey, Russell. Russell's first. All right, Russell. So, well, how's everybody doing? It's just a nasty day here today. It's ice and snow, high winds, really high winds. I went down and flew this afternoon and I could not get up and around the front of the ship as it went out in the lake. So I had to edit the ship video and it's posted, but it's not my normal circle, you know? It's kind of a half circle, up a little bit, back down around, back around here and then back out. Yeah, no giggles. I don't know if he's working today or not. And the other thing I did is the other morning, I did some really low light and I had the sensor on the camera set way high. So the actual video that I did was extremely high too. So I had to back all that down and it was kind of a mess, but I got it posted. Not the best in the world, but it's posted. It's the ship is the Algoma Niagara. That's really, really windy. Hey, Dominic,
I'm here.
how are you
So hello
doing?
to everybody. Hello to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Russell. Hello, Warren.
Akisho said TJ got covered with snow and called the highway patrol. Hey, here he comes. Here comes my
Here's
favorite,
Captain Joe.
Captain Joe.
I'm here for a few minutes.
Where are you going? You're all dressed up.
You got basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah, that game that was supposed to be last Monday, they changed is the night.
Ah. Well, I went and flew
Yeah,
this afternoon and it was windier than hell. It was 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Shit.
And it was the wind chill was about 6. And I had to sit on the downwind side of my Tahoe because I couldn't stand being where I normally sit.
That's like it was with Johnny and them yesterday. When I was standing behind, I stood behind the car to make sure the breeze didn't hit me. It wasn't cold, but it was cold enough that it bothered me.
Yeah, it was cold. And the other thing too is, remember I did kind of a low light flight, and
Yeah,
I had set the meter on the camera way up to like number 3,
right.
and so when I shot this one, it looked on my monitor okay, but it was
You didn't
really
change it
light,
back.
so I had to take it back and dumb it down and
You can do that in
Yeah.
post.
Yeah, you do better fixing it later.
Hmm.
yeah.
You can fix it when it's overexposed better than you can fix it underexposed.
Yeah, underexposed you cook, but if you're overexposed, you can easily work on it. Hello, Brenda.
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 So Warren, what's going on with you and Russell and everybody?
I'm trying to pull up the chat. Brenda, Warren,
Michael.
at.
who cat's here?
Yeah, I don't like being called a gentleman. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, we all know.
Oh, send some snow over here.
Man, it's been spitting snow and ice all day today here.
But at least your days are getting longer.
Well, it's supposed to continue on like that for the next several days.
Yeah, but you're over I hate to say it, you're over the worst of it, but you've still got the worst to come.
What the hell are they looking at? Well, there's no Peregrine Falcons out there today. That's where usually the Peregrine Falcons are hanging out.
Mm.
It's like 40-mile-an-hour winds and it's like 6 degrees.
They got falcons hanging out and you fly the drone?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't taken it down.
And I go over and look at them too. I
Yes,
hover
Michael.
over them and,
Oh, they're used to them. That's what it is.
yeah. I know. You're okay, Mia. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are.
Hello, Dusty.
Dusty, what's up?
That's my girl right there. There's my Mia. That's my Mia.
Hello.
Mia.
Mia. Yeah, I got mine in jail right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're behind the cage, behind the gate, because I'm gonna be
Oh.
leaving in a couple of minutes.
What time's the game?
Yep, no worries, Warren. No worries.
Well, I need to be there by 5. I'm gonna leave here in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna stop and get something to eat on the way.
Yeah, right there. It's only 3:04, right?
It's 4:04.
4:04.
Okay.
There's 5:04 for you.
Yeah, I'll stop. I'll get there ahead of time. I gotta try to catch one of the. I'm hoping that the girls' basketball team's still there. So I got a picture for one of them, and I need to give it to them.
Now, what
The teams.
no, what do you got? What do you got planned for dinner?
Well, I'm just gonna stop. My go-to when I'm in a hurry, I stop and get the McDouble combo.
Oh, there you go.
It's it's $4, and I get fries and a McDouble, a double cheeseburger and fries. That'll
Oh,
get me
wow.
through till later tonight.
That's McDonald's?
Yeah. And my son, he needs to thank me. I've been bailing him
Yeah,
out all
we've
day with his food.
Well, did he come by and get his money?
No, he can't. He's working. He's working. So since he's on the other side of town, he told me, run up here and bring me something. No. You tell me what they got by you. I'll put it on an app and you go pick it up. So I bought him McDonald's this morning. And then a little while ago, he says, yeah, I hate to ask you again. I said, you want the Wendy's this time? I went into Wendy's and it allows. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to be nice. I got the Baconator for $7 and got the other Baconator for $2 more. So you got 2 Baconators for $9.
Oh, 2 for $9, huh?
Yeah, I said, that's my go-to every once in a while. I said, so you need to thank me. I gave it to him, you know.
What do you want? You want to go outside?
But I figured he's working and he's hungry. As soon as we place the order, he gets a call he's got to run on. He's got to go to a fire.
I'll be right back. Mia wants to go
Yeah.
out.
So I told him the order's there. Just go back and pick it up whenever. They'll make it when you get there. Good luck, Mark.
Hi,
Why
Joe.
not?
Paul, Dominic.
Yeah, I had to run out this morning in the cold. It's like 48 degrees right now, and it's supposed to go down to 26 tonight.
Warren, Dusty.
Yeah, we've got
Should have been here.
Peregrine
Michael,
Falcons here
Brenda.
too.
Dominic, you should have been here earlier. I got the battery backup with the computers all plugged into the battery backup, right?
Russell.
Not the DJI, but the other one I've got. So
Yeah.
we're sitting here on, all of a sudden, all my computers go off.
Hmm.
The battery, what happened is the other day when I lost power, apparently it doesn't turn back on. It runs off the batteries.
Hmm.
Which is stupid. Because
Yeah.
when the power comes back on, it'll kick it back on. So it ran on batteries yesterday and today.
Yeah.
And it's just killed. And it didn't beep or let me know that it was killing.
Hmm.
And the worst part is I got the NAS working, copying something. So it shuts down in the middle. So I had to go in there and then it wouldn't reboot. I couldn't get it to reboot. And when I tried to connect to it, it said either your network is not working or the device is faulty. Now that really got me. I said, boy, if it damaged that, I'm gonna contact that company, you know? Because you got it's APC. They say they'll give you up to I think $1 million damage or something like that. So they pay for it. But it's just the principle, right? So I sit there and I'm waiting and it won't reboot. And I went on there and they're saying that if it was in the middle of the thing, turn it off and turn it on again. So I turned it off, turned it on, it came right back.
Hmm.
And then I just went to the 2024 files that I was copying, deleted them and started again. You know, that way I know I get everything and I'm not getting anything corrupted in that. But it's just, man, I can't believe it did that. Just turned off. And I'm still not sure if it just turned off or something happened to make it turn off. I'm gonna have to go find out.
Well, does it start charging back up again as soon as the electric comes on?
It's supposed to. That's what I thought. I had to turn it back on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to turn it back on. That's what didn't make sense.
Mm. Yeah. So that to me that says no, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what it's telling me. She was telling me that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to their website and ask them when the power goes off, does it automatically come back on? Because if it doesn't, it's stupid. Boy, you better shut up over there. Shut up.
Yeah, just
This is the guy to ask right here. He might know.
You want to ask them when your power comes back, shouldn't it automatically switch back to normal power? And
It should.
charge?
That's what it should.
Yeah.
Dominic, it's snowing hard now.
oh no.
Look, can you
Press
see it?
the shut off.
You can hardly see that ship.
Stop it. No,
If you had the DJI Power 1000, it would have a
No.
recharge mode.
no.
Right there.
No. This was the APC 1500 I got.
Hey, Jim.
It's got all the computers plugged into it.
So
When
let
the
me
power
ask,
went out yesterday, the battery backup kicked right in, and I didn't lose my computer. Lost everything else but the computers, right? And it was out for about 10 minutes, came back on, and I'm fine, right? All of a sudden this morning, all my computers died. The batteries did. Like it never turned it back on when the power came on.
why don't you just use the 1000 as a battery backup? Use the other one for like
Might
your
have to
TV
do
or
that.
something. Yeah, use the other one for like your TV in the living room or something. Or if your power goes out.
But I got to figure out how I'm going to do it because where it's at, how big it is. I got to find a place to put it.
And then
Run.
shit, even once in a while, just unplug it and let your computer run off of it for a little bit to give it a little bit of use, you know.
Hello, Dre.
Yeah.
Hello,
What I was
Dre.
sending a message to Joe is that if you would have went ahead and bought the Power 1000, it would automatically kick back to recharge mode, but you kept canceling the order. So this is what your butt get.
I
Yeah,
thought he had
exactly.
it.
I have the 1000. I have the 1000.
You had it.
I still
No.
have it.
He still
He still
has
has
it.
it. You should
They
plug
ended
your
up
computers
almost
in the
giving
back
it
He
to
just
us.
doesn't know where to fit it.
No, I still have it.
Like I said, I
Like
would
I
use
said,
the
if you
1000 on
you
your
set
computer.
that to have your whatever you plug into it in case your power goes off. Once the power restores, it senses that and it goes back into recharge mode.
Well, it didn't go back into recharge mode, the APC one.
Now, let me ask you something, Dre. If you're not using that 1000 very often, would it be good to kind of just use it to kind of give it a little bit of use on the battery? Or
It doesn't go into that far as it holds a charge whatever you leave it at. It
Yeah.
doesn't discharge.
It's
I
not
think
like a
it's a
regular.
lithium-
right, but
Drone
I'm saying,
battery,
is it
so-
healthy to kind of cycle the battery once in a
Lithium
while? though?
ferrophosphate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's some kind of ferrophosphate type battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Alloy.
I thought that the 1000 was literally just a power bank,
LIFEO4, I think it is.
not an uninterrupted power supply, which is what.
It's a battery backup rather than a UPS.
But he's using a UPS on his
Like I
computer.
say, you
So-
can program the 1000 to act like a AP, was the APC, APS, whatever
You-
UPS.
call it.
Uninterrupted
UPS.
power.
Right. You can set it to that mode, and what it
Hey,
is
Joel.
that
Hello again.
as long as you got power, it will just have the power go through it. When the power cuts off, it picks it up right away within about a
Yeah,
second. or two.
it can be a through pass.
Right. And then when the power restores, it goes back into recharge mode.
Yeah, that's what his UPS is supposed to do, but it didn't.
Yeah, that's what my UPS supposed to do too.
Yeah. Well, the UPS is UPS.
Like I said, I would just take the other one that you're using now on your computer, just hook it up to something else, like
Yeah.
your TV or maybe your, something that, I don't know, some fans or something. Find something else to
Yeah,
use it
I'm
on.
assuming that happened is because as soon as everything turned off, the thing started beeping, just like a steady beep. And I went down there and there was no lights on it. So then I pressed the power button, it comes back on. Now the only reason it would have turned off is when I lost the power. But I don't understand why it didn't when it sensed power turn back on. That's what I'm trying to figure out now. I'm gonna contact APS and ask them about it through their support because that could have tore up my NAS system.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the middle of it,
Right.
downloading stuff.
Yeah,
It was writing stuff.
and if you were away from the house, the power went out.
I would just
Yeah,
use
because if
that
I'm somewhere else
1000.
and the power goes out, it's supposed to keep them on for. I know the little one I had said it'd keep it on for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This one here, I don't know. This is triple the size, so I'm probably thinking a couple hours. But if it didn't have power turned on to it yesterday, back, it lasted a whole day.
I'm just wondering why
Because-
they didn't go back into recharge mode when the power came back on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure.
Because that's what it's supposed to be designed for, like Mark said.
Yeah. So
Well, you
it's
got
a
the
support-
1000 now. The 1000 is the big daddy,
Right.
I mean, if you're not gonna use the 1,000 on a regular basis, that'd be good just to put that as your backup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna probably wind up doing. I'll set it
Yeah.
up and plug it in that way. I'm gonna have to move it
Probably
to the
would
back
run-
back here.
I'm assuming it would probably run your computer a lot longer than the other one would.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Oh,
lot
I'm pretty
bigger.
sure it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got a place to put it in the back of your room right there, right?
Yeah, I could put it on the back, like, I got a big gap in the back here.
Yeah.
You know, in the back that way. I could set it up right there in the gap and run all the wires into that. And
Like,
Yeah.
instead of
get
it
rid of
being run under, it doesn't run to the side.
You gotta
Yep.
get rid of that damn Mac on your desk. You got plenty of room there.
I need that Mac. I need that Mac. It ain't worth shit, but I need it.
Brian said user error. What's up, Joel? Brian?
Well, it
TJ,
could
Dave?
be. I'm trying to figure.
I mean, it is possible. Maybe there is some kind of, you don't see any switches on it anywhere that maybe it switches into different modes or anything.
Well, it does. I might have to pull a book.
Giggles says he's at work. He wanted to pop in and say,
Or
hello.
you might have whatever single button you have on there might have different button combinations to turn on certain
Hello,
modes, too.
Giggles.
I kind of think that too.
TJ.
Yeah, you might have to like click it twice or something like that.
Well, you gotta put some ruby red slippers on it, make it click his heels twice.
Mhm.
I'll put that golden finger down there.
Well, there's usually a couple of pieces of paper stapled together inside it that are called a user manual.
Think I looked at that?
That's why he doesn't
Yeah,
know what
who
the
looks
hell
at
it's doing
that?
now.
That's what I mean.
What's up, Brenda?
Brenda.
Like I
Yeah, I'm
keep
reading it right now. It says the power one replacement. It says short beep when it came on. Yeah. It said it takes 16 hours to fully charge. Right.
Yeah, but
16 hours to fully charge.
your question should be,
Yeah, that
why do
must
you
have
have
a-
to manually reset it? Why didn't
that
it
must
just
have a
detect the
low
power
wattage.
coming on? And then
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out right now.
God, I must have a really low wattage charger. Takes that long to charge. Jesus. It's a long time. That should be something 6, maybe 8 hours tops.
well, it's an old
Yeah.
one of old style batteries.
Fuck it up. Rip it out of there. Put the 1,000 back there. You
Yeah.
can throw that Mac out while you're at
yeah, put the Mac with that other.
Back it
it.
in.
Put it to the curb.
Yeah, I didn't get a low battery warning or anything. I'm looking through the troubleshooting stuff.
Well, that's the problem with technology of things that you don't usually use. It's like at my age, I can't remember what the hell to do, you know?
Well, and I was just about to say, at Joe's age, is it possible he didn't hear the beep?
There you go.
Oh.
Where's the duck?
Yeah.
So you got another day off before you got to go back to school, Justin?
Yeah, I don't go back till Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning. Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I got to go to these 3 games I
Okay.
don't want to go to tonight.
You got 3 in a row?
Yeah,
Wow.
we got freshman, JV, then varsity.
Okay.
And like last week when I was bitching about not wanting to go, I was tired. The varsity game went almost a double overtime.
Mm.
No kidding.
Well, that's it. I told the ref when he came over, he looked at me because he was tired too. He had 2 of the games. I looked over at him and said, "Well, you better call a foul or something. Do something to get this game over." He started laughing. He said, "I'm about to." Yeah, he was ready to kill that game, and they wound up losing it by 1 point. They had a shot to win it and lost it. So we'll see.
Okay,
We
Joe,
get-
hey,
I technically got games tomorrow night too. The girls play and the boys play tomorrow night over at Covington. But I'm not gonna go to that because that's at a different school. And I'll wait till they play Covington here. They play them here on senior night. It's
Now,
better
how-
to shoot them here.
how long does the basketball season go there in the high schools?
This won't be over with until March.
Oh, wow. So you got
Yeah,
a
Be
couple
March.
of months yet.
yeah, we're just starting. Let me see what the last game is. The last game, actually, take it back. It is March. The last game I've got here is 2/15, February 15th, but then the playoffs.
Then the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, the playoffs, and if the teams play, you got like 5 playoff games in there. So you're looking at, but they play them real quick. They play them every other week. So it's like right at the beginning of March when it's over, because they've got to be finished. I think they got to be finished by the middle of March because softball starts, and that's the way
Oh,
LHSA
okay.
works. Because then it goes right into softball and baseball.
And then you shoot that too, right?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm not through to June.
Hmm.
I'm through like I'm usually through by the beginning of June, and then I don't have anything till I shoot team pick. Actually, I'm lying again, because then in July we do 7-on-7 football. So I get about 30 days off. And the 7-on-7, I hate it because it's hard to shoot and it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, it sounds like cricket.
Yeah. And that's when all the parents, all the moms want to start giving me the money for the next season. And I tell them, no, wait in a month. I don't want it right now. I'd rather have it come in when the season starts. That way I can obligate it the way I need to obligate it. Because if you don't obligate it right, boy, it bites you in your ass. So, well, let me get out of here. I got to go.
Okay, Joe, have a good evening.
Okay.
We'll see you in the morning, right?
So yeah,
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow morning, 26 degrees. We'll be here
Oh, boy.
later.
yeah, we got the same temperature, but we've got a C on it.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure what happened was Joe heard the beeping and he beat the shit out of every fire alarm in his house, trying to figure out which one it was. All the smoke detectors got a beating.
I was thinking maybe he thought he left something in the microwave.
Yeah, he was probably making that cup of tea.
Oh, you know what is the worst beeping noise is the iPod or the Apple earphones. They do this beep in such a way that you can't really tell where the fuck it's coming from. Like it's one of those sounds that when you'll go to one side of the room and it bounces to the other side. Oh my God. Every time Sarah's looking for a damn one of her earphones, oh my God, it's a bitch finding that thing. You'll hear it clear as day. It's weird the way they do the sound. It jumps all over the room.
Tell her to turn off surround sound.
Ugh. So I guess the whole I haven't been watching, Dre. Has that whole drone bullshit from up north died down finally? I haven't heard any news stories. in the
No,
last,
we
like,
need to
week
bring
or
that
two.
back. That was entertaining.
Was that New Jersey stuff?
Yeah, I haven't heard nothing about that. I haven't seen nothing come
You know,
across my news feed
I-
or anything.
After it's all said and done, I think this was just a excuse for the FAA to approve the most of
Yeah, it was a
places that
psyop.
these TFRs and restricted airspace location, all these little local power plants now.
Hello, David.
Yeah,
I think that's the part that was maybe part of the nonsense that was going on, because all of a sudden now the FAA grant all these little power stations TFRs and other regulations over at a little facility. Like they felt they were in danger or something.
Yeah, Chris Waters put a funny little video on.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like you said, Justin, ain't nobody run outside, seeing anything now, and I'm sure these folks ain't stopped looking up in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I figured I knew it was going to die down eventually because I honestly haven't seen anything nobody really talking about the last like week or two.
It's all nonsense. But like I said on Billy Cow's video, I said the sad thing is all these, especially the elected officials who run up on all these news shows, hyping the hysteria up to a fever pitch level, they won't be held accountable for none of that nonsense they were spreading.
I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was entertaining to see all of it.
Well, Dominic, this my thing is, it just shows a side of people who we so-called elect to be our representatives,
Yeah.
and they speak utter nonsense.
Definitely.
And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
and we voted for your dumbass?
Exactly.
You vote for them to be your representatives.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And all they're interested
go
in
on
doing is
national
furthering
TV
their own career.
talking about some Iranian ghost ship.
Yeah, all they're
The Iranian mothership.
Yeah,
all they're bothered
mothership or
about
whatever. I'm
furthering
Hey,
like,
their
look.
own career. They don't care about what the people are supposed to represent want.
Well, I'm saying to think that the U.S. military doesn't know where every fucking ship in the world is at any given time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
But even Paul knows where every ship in the world is at any given time, don't you, Paul?
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I've got ship tracker, but the military ships don't show up usually.
yeah.
No, but I'm saying is damn well they know where shit's at and they're watching. So there ain't gonna be no Iranian
why
ship
I said
20.
It's embarrassing to a certain
Jim,
extent,
Brian, Joel,
and it
David.
just add to the hysteria of the uninformed who feel like they're all paranoid, sitting in their houses with tinfoil on their heads, all
Yeah.
scared.
Well, it was a false flag for something.
Well, you
Yeah,
saw that one
Obviously
dude
wanting to hide something.
that one dude was going around saying he was on a couple of podcasts and he was talking about dirty bombs and that they were looking for nuclear
I know
something or other.
this
You know who I'm
people
talking
just
about? You
run
saw
off
that guy?
all these
Mhm.
conspiracy theory stuff, man.
Yeah, this guy claimed to have knowledge of missing nuclear waste or bombs or some bullshit.
But when he get asked about it, he says, "Oh, I can't give that out." I'm like, shut up, just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was on I want to say he was on Rogan's podcast
Mm.
and he was on I can't remember that other guy's name. He's the business dude that has a podcast, pretty big podcast. He's a big businessman.
It makes them look bad
Can't
too,
think
because they let these clowns on their shows, and they don't ask them no real hard questions to prove these theories. They kind of like laugh along with them.
Mhm.
Well, it's kind of like if you're not an expert, do you really know what to ask to begin with?
You know what? That's why we all got these little devices in our hand, and you can type in what you need to find out. So you can ask an intelligent question.
Mm.
So I mean, my thing is, there's no excuse to be ignorant or just act dumb. No excuse. Get all these highly capable computers in our back pockets, in our hands, wherever we go, and people act like, oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
look
could
at
you
it all.
imagine taking a smartphone back to like the 30s, bro? It'd be the whale.
Yeah.
It'd be the fucking Salem witch trials all over again.
Yeah.
Kid.
What the fuck is that?
Because they wouldn't work because the servers wouldn't be there
There's
either.
no service.
It don't matter. You pulled that screen out and you're like, look at this, and you're swiping shit, you're showing pictures and stuff. You'd be freaking them the fuck out.
That's one of my pet peeves when I see people on Facebook and stuff, and they go there and ask these questions. The first thing I said, now I always ask, I said, for the amount of effort it took you to get on here and ask this question, You could not answer this question on your own phone?
Yeah, it gets me. There's some of the stupid questions that they ask on some of the drone pages on Facebook
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would have taken them 2 seconds to look up, and
yeah,
have probably been asked about half a dozen times.
yeah. And I always say is that, if I'm gonna get on here and ask a question, one of the first things I'm gonna say in my opening sentence is I've already searched where I could search and I couldn't find an answer. That's why I'm here to
Yeah.
figure somebody else knows. At least put that disclaimer out there. A lot of these guys get and say, well, I was too lazy to look on my own phone, but you wasn't too lazy to get on here.
Yeah, there was a couple of posts I put on Reddit asking about some stuff that I could not find any information on. They're just stupid little shit, but I looked at it before I asked them.
But that's
Like
my
I
whole
tried to
point. I
find
said
it,
that's
yeah.
in your opening sentence, you should say, hey, I've tried to search this and I haven't been able to come up with nothing or something not satisfying my curiosity. So I came here to see if anybody else might have some additional information. Put that disclaimer out there right up front. So at least you tell everybody you made an effort.
Mm.
And then they get all butthurt talking about, "Hey, why is everybody jumping on me?"
Yeah, but they ask stupid questions like, how high does it fly?
Mm-hmm.
Or how far can it fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tells you that in the instructions. It
Yep.
also tells you that you've got a, if you've been reading the CAA rules to get your ID, you would know how far you can actually take it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's all right there, accessible to you, right on your little phone or your own computer.
Yeah,
They want to go
it's
in
in
here,
your authority's guide.
right? But what the number
Yeah.
one thing
Anywhere you are.
that really chaps my hide is when somebody gets on there and complains or something else nonsense, and then people try to give them answers and they don't respond.
And if
Mm.
you haven't read the rules and know the answers already, then you shouldn't be flying.
Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of folk, I think, the other day in the old fart, some guy gathered and complained about the. You saw that down at the Mini 4, what it was?
Yeah.
And it must have been almost 40 comments, and this guy not responding to nobody. And I said, that really chaps my high. I said, you get on here and make a complaint, but then you ghost the whole
Yeah,
thread.
yeah. If you're
Yeah.
going to make a complaint, you're going to make a comment. Be
Yeah.
prepared to reply to every one of them.
Right. And I'm like, come on now.
Well, it's either that or he put the comment on and then left the group.
Yeah. Do stuff like
Yeah, you
that.
just breadcrumb. You
And that's
just
why I tell some
breadcrumb
people, I
them.
said, some folks just come here to stir the pot. That's all you came
Hello,
here for. Stir the pot.
Donald.
Hi, Don.
Yeah, you just breadcrumb people where you just occasionally throw one out and drop
Yeah.
the bomb and then leave.
Oh, Donald's still at work, isn't he?
Yep,
Another
24:30.
Yeah, he's got another 27 minutes yet.
Yep. Yeah,
Heard
yeah,
one of
Brenda.
the
No one has
greatest-
common sense these days. They seem to have been outlawed.
Well, I would even put that up higher than common sense. I said, that's just being proper courtesy. You come in and ask a question, be prepared to respond to the answer.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that, Dusty. I'm a bit of a
Well,
pot
it's
stirrer.
like one of the questions I asked that I
Hey, Corey.
finally found a video on it after I looked up a bunch of videos. But like one of the stupid questions I asked on Reddit, somebody finally answered me, but I ended up finding it in a video finally. After
Yeah,
like 30 videos I watched. But it's like the knob on my keyboard, right? It has little LED strips on it. There's a setting in IQ software where you can choose a color for it, but it doesn't light up. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Why is it there? But then, so and I was just curious. It was something stupid. I just wanted to know why it had a setting. But then somebody explained it to me in one of the Reddit threads. They told me what it was. It was actually the F12 key is what lights up the different colors because the way they did the knob and it doesn't actually light the knob up. But you wouldn't think that if you were looking in the software.
When
'Cause it
you
doesn't
said the
tell you
word
that.
knob, I thought you were going to say you looked up on Reddit how not to zip your knob up in your pants.
He looked it up on Pornhub.
Now
Yeah.
you only figure out how not to do that one time, Dre.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When you type in blue waffle, just never type that in again.
Oh, what's up, Corey? What's up, Warren?
I was gonna tell Jim, I said, all depends what model controller you're using. I mean, you talking about move the power button the quarter more to the left. I said, and I'm thinking now this weekend I was flying my Phantom 4 RTK, so I'm like, the buttons on that thing are used. So I mean, if you got a problem hitting the button, you got pause for him.
Yeah, you got a point there, Jim. No, I think Jim is probably commenting on the Mavic 3 Classic because I can,
Yeah,
well, Mavic 3 Pro or Classic, because I can understand that, because when you're trying to plug the battery in, that little the Hannibal Lecter gimbal guard,
Yeah, the hood.
the battery when you plug in the USB, it needs to be just that to the left so you don't have to move the thing out of the way. So I can understand if that's what he means, but yeah.
Yeah, it's called a GIMP mask.
Yeah, as I always call it the Hannibal Lecter, because that's what it looks like.
so I guess everybody's gonna be doing shows this week. I guess I heard earlier about some, or I know some guys just put up for clickbait. More, it's a big discussion. Is the Mavic 4 coming out first, or the Matrice 4 coming out first? And I believe it's going to be the Matrice 4.
I heard somebody going on about the Matrice 4, and I thought, because for the rest of the video, he seemed to be referring to stuff on the Mavic 4, not the
Yeah, the
Matrice.
Matrice 4 is coming out. Yeah,
I don't know whether he just got
it's
the
4.
word.
Yeah, well, I think, Mark, a lot of folks are confusing the specs on both drones.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when they were leaking out some of the information, everybody thought this so-called Mavic 4 is going to have all these different cameras on it and everything else. I said, no, DJI is not going to go down that road and release a drone with a thermal camera and a 3.4 sensor on another part of it and everything else. I said, this sounds like it's going to be a couple of different level drones.
Yeah, there's the Pro with the Mavic 4.
Right.
It's the Pro, the multispectral, the thermal, and the Enterprise.
Well, my thing is why are 90% of these shows even going to talk about it? Because none of them are going to buy it.
Well, the Matrice ones, you're 100% correct. As soon as they
That's
find
what
out
I'm
the price
talking
is,
about.
Justin, they're gonna go mute.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You don't ever see any of the. I mean, take like Dobo and a couple of the big channels out of the equation. You don't see all these other smaller drone channels actually buying Inspires and any of all that shit. They
Well,
all
like
buy
I said,
the
'cause that's an investment.
right.
The only thing that makes me laugh is that these guys spend so much money on all these smaller drones. You could have bought a big one.
Yeah.
Good evening,
There's
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Hi, Lloyd. I know.
Dre,
Lloyd,
Dre, out of all the drones you have, what's your favorite to fly?
The one I have to use for that job.
So you're just specific, you like
Oh,
them
that's
all,
a-
but
Yeah, but he
That's a
doesn't
I
really
like them all.
fly
'Cause, like,
recreational.
each one has certain characteristics, and you know, like I say, this weekend I was flying. I used the Mavic 3E on one job, and then the second job I had to use the Phantom 4 RTK because of airspace requirements that I had to get through.
And
So
the
I
thing
mean,
is, yeah.
go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna say, and the thing is, Paul, if you ask Matt, Dre don't know what the hell he's doing anyway.
yeah.
And like today I had the Mavic 2 Pro out today, filming the bridge. You know, I enjoy. I mean, my thing is, it's all about the operator. You know, you can get what you want out of a drone if you're a good operator.
Yep.
Because most of these drones can do all about the same thing as far as the basic functions of flying. You can articulate the gimbal, you get a nice cinematic look and all that kind of stuff. Most all these drones can support all that. So my thing is the operator if you become a better operator, you can have a lot of fun with a lot of different drones.
Why do you think the Air series sucked, Jim? That's probably the most popular of all of them. I would say.
Yeah, the S3S fits into a different niche to the others. So you've got to have a small, medium, and a large.
Yeah, but the Air 3S is the same weight as the Mavic Pro
Yeah.
was originally. So
Yeah.
the Air series has moved up from the Air series to something else now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, Mark, you have a whole another group of people who never even seen the original Air, let alone fly one.
Yeah.
Now I never had one or flew one, but I heard it was a piece of
Yeah,
crap.
No,
I don't
I
know.
love that original Air. That
Oh
original,
no, was it the Air?
I still
was,
have mine.
No, it was the
original
original
Air.
Mavic, wasn't it?
Yeah, even the original
Oh,
Maverick was
original
good. The original Maverick
Pro,
was
really?
very sensitive as far as the camera settings.
Yeah.
Once you learn to nail the camera settings on the original Pro, you can get some awesome footage out of it.
No, there was one of them. It was either the original Air or the original Mavic. I remember Matt talking about it, and he said the camera was super sensitive. Like it was very fragile, and he didn't like
That's
it.
probably the original Mavic Pro, because the
Yeah.
original
Yeah.
Air, that camera had a little hood to it. It sat back in the frame, and everything came out razor sharp. And some folks didn't like that. But the original Air, I used to put that thing like a little Corvette, compact, take off like a bullet. Man, that thing and everything always came out crispy clean.
I love the Inspire when it first came out. I flew
Mhm.
the hell out of it. But the thing of it is, you had to change cameras. The batteries didn't last as long, and all that.
Yeah.
kind of- But
Hi,
boy,
Jim.
when you put that Inspire down and give it the gas, and maybe tilt right down like that and just go.
Like
Give it
see,
into
the
us,
thing
yeah.
is I could see Dre covering a Matrice series drone on his show because he's buying those type of drones. He's doing that type of work. But 90% of these drone channels, none of these guys are buying them. So why even fucking talk about it?
Well, like I said, they get confused a lot of times on the specs because like they go in all these leaks, and they think all these leaks are always going towards the next consumer level drone, and they're not. I mean, this how many people got it wrong when that fly cart came out. People got that totally wrong
Why
and
card?
stuff. As soon as it got released, you don't hear nobody say a word about it.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's like all these ones that thought the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 4 Pro were so innovative because they could change from landscape to portrait mode.
The original,
When the original Mavic Pro did that.
yeah, it just wasn't popular back then.
Well, the Pro would have been ahead of its time on that kind of filming too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was ahead of its time.
Well, it was made for
Danger.
photographers. I mean, photographers still shoot in portrait as well as landscape. They don't just
Yeah. Vertical rules.
Right,
Yeah.
but yeah, majority of people filming just internet videos, well, even like what, 6, 7 years ago, none of them would have been really filming in portrait unless they just forgot to turn their phone sideways or
Mm.
whatever they were filming with. It would have been an accident at that point. But now with the vertical shorts and all that, it's pretty commonplace now.
But
So that's
say
a
true,
feature that
Justin,
should be in all the drones.
I still don't see a lot of people really using, I would say the average person really using the vertical modes on a drone. They'll still break their necks to use a GoPro or other action cameras or their actual phone to film stuff. And because most of them don't read the instructions to know how to fix the camera in the vertical mode to film with.
But I think as popular as vertical video is now, I think that should be at least a standard feature on all their drones. So
Yeah.
you have it. I mean, like I said, like you guys said, taking pictures and stuff, you should be able to have both those options.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, when Paul was talking about the Inspire, Billy Kyle did a video the other day on it with his Inspire 3 with a new camera lens on it. That thing looked awesome.
Mm.
I mean, Paul, the picture quality of that thing, he showed the train going across the bridge at Philly at night. It looked so crisp and clear. It looked like it was CGI with that lens on it. It looked like it was computer generated graphics. It was just so clean and crisp. I was like, I had to look at it twice. Say, man, I told Billy, I said, that's an awesome look.
Well, I've always had this theory about the really expensive drones, right? Is
Oh my, it's
Mm.
coming.
is giving them to big creators on YouTube to promote to an audience that 99% of them aren't going to buy it because it's too expensive. Is that really even selling the drones anymore? Because if you're a business, you're not going to go to a YouTube channel to look at a drone. You're going to go to the company and they're going to send out a rep if you're spending that kind of money.
Well, like I say, with the bigger drones, you notice price is not really discussed. If
right,
you
but I'm
want it-
saying,
if
who
you
are they
wanted it-
really promoting it to then?
Well, like I say, they promote the features, the capabilities of it, and if you want it bad enough, then you go down or call whatever and find out how much it costs, and then decide what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's just,
Because
like,
I
it's just
would-
like buying sports cars. If you gotta ask how much it is, you don't really want that bad.
Because like if I owned a company like Daryl works for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't be going to a YouTube channel and watching Dobo or somebody saying, "Oh, what's the latest specs on this drone?" I would rather call the company up, have a rep come out because I'm spending that kind of money. I don't give a shit what some creator says on YouTube about it.
Yeah, that
I-
you go
I
either
wanna-
way, but the thing is here, you don't know, the companies don't cold call. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna cold call you or send you an email saying we got something new out. Most time it is that you've seen it somewhere, like TV, you've seen a commercial or something, then you're calling them and says, hey, I saw this, tell me something about it.
Well, the only reason I say that about drones is because Daryl has said that DJI reaches out to his company all the time, and other
Yeah.
companies do, and he gets to see the latest stuff and all that.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't really know what a big YouTuber who they're really marketing to, because the percentage of people are actually just buying it just to buy it because they have the money has got to be.
Well, just like little
pretty
guys
small.
like me, DJI don't call me for crap. Okay. So if it's not for me seeing something else out there, then in turn I contact them. They don't contact me. You know, I mean,
Like a
Daryl's
pump and
company, like I
dump
said,
with
they
those drones.
buy several drones at one time. So they're probably
Yeah.
big enough to where I say, okay, let's reach out to these big guys and let them know what's up, because they're going to put an order in for about, a dozen of them or whatever. Because I've seen Daryl post pictures of about 6 or 7 Mavic 3Es and M300s. That's a lot
Oh,
of
dude,
money.
he had a photo of him in one of their work offices, and they had fucking stacks of them.
Yeah,
It looked like there was 20 or 30. Like I think they were matrices still in the box.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
you'll reach out to your high, as you say, your high dollar clients. But little guys like me, if I don't see it out there, whatever, they're not going to contact
Yeah,
me.
but I'm not talking about consumer drones, Jim. I'm talking about consumer, or what do you want to say it, commercial type
Enterprise
drones.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, enterprise or prosumers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course, if I would say if they're showing off a Mini 4 on YouTube, the amount of buyers that would watch that video that could afford it, yeah, it's huge. Versus, a $15,000-$20,000 drone.
It's snowing pretty good down by the river.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
many of the
DJI
companies now.
is- go ahead, Lloyd.
Go ahead. Oh, I was
No, go
just
ahead.
going to say, so many of the companies now, you go to their company website and they've got YouTube videos. I mean, just about anything you want instructions on how to use something,
Hmm.
they have a YouTube channel, and
That's the first thing I look for.
Yeah, embedded in in their web pages, they have
Mhm.
YouTube videos because
Mhm.
so most companies or a lot of them nowadays are using YouTube. So, that argument that they wouldn't go. Well, a lot of people, they go to, like Dre, he would go to the company website to look at something, and lo and behold, there's a YouTube video he needs to go watch, and that's where he gets it from. So
Yep.
Just going to straight YouTube yourself, you're just cutting out the middleman. But yeah, there are a lot of companies that have embedded YouTube now because it is the modern news, it's the modern magazines, it's the modern television, so anyways, that's just my thought. What do I know? I'm just an old
Well,
fart.
I mean, we even
No,
talk
I
about
agree
the
with you.
consumer level overall and say, DG, when is it? I can say, I don't know about, I know for me, I have never seen a DJI commercial on regular broadcast TV.
Yep,
Never seen one.
Nope.
No,
But they don't
I
have
agree.
to. They got all these mouthpieces on the internet floating their products out there, talking about the leaks and everything else that they don't even have to pay not for one commercial on regular broadcast TV. You know how much money they're saving off these channels?
yeah,
Yeah, because they send out one drone, let's say it's a Matrice or something like that, but how much are those things, Dre? About 10 grand or so, or
and the
Mhm.
do what?
and the rest.
Yeah. And you send that to, you spend $30,000 and you send out 3 of them to the top YouTube people that are in the drone, or even top influencers. And that's $30,000 they've invested in advertising that they're going to get continuous advertising, continuous airtime because everybody will click on over and over and over.
Yeah. So
But
it's
you go
good
try and get,
advertising and good marketing.
yeah, go pay for a 30-second television slot on Legacy TV and ask them to run it run it all night long, you know, every 30 second, have a 30
Way
second
more than
commercial
30 grand.
yeah, it's going to cost them a lot more, even if they send out 100 of these at 10,000 a pop, they're still in the end, their advertising budget is still less than it would
Less
be if
than,
they
yep.
went to Legacy
Paying
TV.
for a regular, yep.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I think was you,
I-
Mark, asking the question about why was the military advertising doing football games?
Oh yeah,
Look
Yeah.
Look at the target audience.
Couple million.
Young males.
Yeah. students. Yeah,
Yeah, students, young males.
coming out of college,
Yeah,
where they can
When-
go. Yeah,
Young
When
men and women now.
yeah.
when first person shooters were really hitting their stride in the early 2000s, you
Mhm.
could go to an Army recruiting station and they had their own first person shooter there. And
Yeah.
you could get it and they'd give it to you for free. I picked up 3 or 4 of them for friends, and the problem is that, they were testing, because it's on there and they provided the server and everything. So they're testing and a few guys got a few emails. Hey, you did really good in that. How would you like to consider doing that for real?
yeah.
So they're going wherever the modern young people are at to recruit,
Well, look at some of the robotics and the drones in the military now. They use mainly PlayStation and Xbox style controllers.
Yeah.
And some of them are actually using actual Xbox controllers
Oh yeah.
that they just they repurposed for that particular drone or
Yeah.
robot or whatever they're using because they know a lot of the younger kids in their in their teens and 20s. That's what they grew up playing with that, so it's nothing for them to transfer over.
Yeah, college students that have just graduated college and they offer them an opportunity to help pay off their student loans. Say they didn't go to ROCT, they just went straight through, and they'll hire those guys, especially if they're in the gaming / tech industry, because like you
Mhm.
said, a lot of these guys they use and you're right, I've seen a few Xbox controllers in some of the videos that they do. And
Yeah.
that's the guys they're reaching out for, the ones that grew up gaming, because that's our future. And the good thing is if you get into that part of the military, you're just a little less likely to not get shot.
Yeah.
I remember when I stationed 29 Palms, I think it was around 80, 87, 88. They
Mhm.
put out
Yeah.
a flyer asking people who were into the RC
Corey.
plane hobby. That's how they started recruiting back in the 80s. Those who had interest in the RC plane hobby back in
Yep.
the 80s.
It looked like Corey, that was a Logitech controller. That was the problem. It wasn't Xbox.
What did he
Yeah.
say?
The Titan sub, they were using a Logitech controller.
Yeah.
It looked kind of similar to an Xbox controller, but it was made by Logitech.
Yeah, that's a different story right there. But
Oh, Kirk Cameron fucking ripped into that guy after that happened about how stupid he was and stuff. Because Kirk Cameron's really gotten into the mini subs and all that since the Titanic, making of the movie and all that.
Right.
And he's really big into that industry now. And he's had subs designed professionally by companies that are, what do you want to call it? Qualified. They have like all the qualifications to make
Right,
shit
right.
like that. And that guy didn't. And he warned that guy apparently for years, telling him it was a bad idea and all that other crap. The guy,
Yeah.
of course, didn't listen. Look what happened.
Yeah, I think if I were to go down in a mini sub, I would want to see that they have all their congressional and NASA certificate, or not NASA, but all their Submariner certifications from who is it? NOAA? I don't know who it is that controls the water, but I want to make sure they have all the right certifications. I wouldn't want to. Well, if my son built one, I just don't think I'd go down in it.
Now, I feel bad for that kid that died in it too, because
Yeah,
he didn't
that
want to
was-
go on it. He actually was
No.
about to back out, they said, and he ended up deciding to go last minute.
Yeah,
And it's like, dude, if he would have just listened to his instincts,
He'd have been
Yep.
rich.
granted, his dad probably would have still went, but at least that kid would have had a little bit of a future ahead of him.
yeah.
Because he was only,
And to
I
pay that
think, in
kind
his
of money
early-
to do that, so
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that was a mess. Anyway, you guys can go back to discussing drones now. I'm through interrupting.
Right?
Hey, did you ever fix your controller you were talking about?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it working. It's
I was gonna say, if not, just junk the damn thing. They're only like $30 to get a new one.
yeah, no. Well, the one it was brand new. That was the thing. It was brand new, and how did that fall? Oh, it's the dog. Yeah, Ranger decided to drag something off the table and took that with it. The funny thing was that after I took it all apart and looked at it, I was mistaken on whether the joystick parts were bent or not, because when I looked at them, and then I started looking at videos, like, I didn't have to take it apart. They weren't bent in the first place. That's the angle they were set at. And it makes for more thump. It's like, oh my God. But I know how to take one apart now. So that's the good
Oh,
thing.
no.
And put it back together.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Taking
Yep.
it apart is dead easy.
What
Together's
I
different.
my oldest grandson here in town, he's IT tech certified. He's got all that fancy stuff, so he can do that kind of stuff. And apparently he decided to take one of their controllers apart. And unfortunately, he didn't know how to get it back together. And he blamed it on the YouTube video he watched. Like, really? You went and watched it? Anyways, I said, I did mine, and I paid attention where that stuff came out of,
Mhm.
I didn't have any screws extra, no leftover screws. Everything went in there like it was supposed to.
Oh, you've not done
And
it right. Not got a screw left over.
Oh,
Well, I
Corey,
did find one a little bit ago. It might have been one that was left. I didn't notice.
Corey actually, he did get on Fortnite, and he thought you had to like build his own character. He didn't realize that they were preset characters they
Yeah,
give you when you first start.
Yeah, because I didn't want to play some female kitty or whatever that was that they had there. It's like, sorry, I am not. I'm not a trans furry. How about that? Just
They did.
Trans player.
That's furry.
No, they give you 4 basic characters when you start that are just in like kind of military style outfits. If you have some cat player, then you must have got something from Fortnite. Because that you don't get a free character usually when you start.
Well,
Except for
all I
the
can
4
say is if that's a
presets.
military style uniform, if they were dressed like that when I was in the military, I would have never got out.
Hey, Lance.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Lance.
Hi,
Good to see you
Lance.
pop in.
Lance
Yeah.
Donald.
They certainly knew how to sort uniforms out in Star Trek.
Can offer treatment options and work with pills and injections.
What is that? Pills and ejaculation. Fuck is he watching?
Yeah, ejection.
Oh,
So what's new with you, Don? If
Obviously
you're
not
talking, we
much.
can't hear you.
that's what's new.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
Oh, his audio's not working
Oh.
again.
It's 1 minute past. He's off the clock.
Yep.
And he's forgot
I didn't
to
know
shut-
you were on the clock.
He works from home.
He
Hmm.
works from
Oh.
home, or sometimes he's got to go in the office.
Oh,
Donald.
Oh, Don. I had him covered up with my chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, can't hear you, Don.
Can't hear you, Don. I thought you said Dom, and I was going to say, I didn't know he was on the clock.
Did you plug it in?
It's not
Hear me
his
now?
microphone over.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're coming through.
Okay, that's going to the audio box, but I should be connected to the mic mini, the DJI mic mini.
You sound like you're on like webcam
Alright.
mic or something.
So how are you doing, Don?
We can still hear the buzzing noise from your other mic.
He's muted now.
So Lance, what are you up to? You heading home or what?
I am headed home. I was doing some yearbook stuff there at the very end of the day, and I thought I can do this from home. I'm gonna go head home and beat the traffic, hopefully.
Did all the students tell you how much they missed you for a couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, they did. They gave me apples and all kinds of praise, and just couldn't believe how much they missed me.
Wow.
Oh geez.
What do you teach?
I teach photography, broadcasting, and yearbook.
Oh, okay.
So I'm what they call a CTE teacher, and it's basically an elective. Kids take. They have to have so many electives to graduate.
Right,
So
right.
and then they have to take a CTE class to graduate as well. So they run through me at some point in their 4 years, either
Okay,
through one of the 3 classes.
cool.
That
You
is
guys
one
should
of-
be able to hear me now.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
better.
we can hear you now.
That's
Yeah.
one of the weirdest classes I've ever heard of. How the hell can you teach somebody yearbook?
They get credit for working on
graphic design, photography, photojournalism. They're having to write articles, all kinds of stuff.
Okay,
Having to
so
interview kids,
Okay.
interview teachers.
basically media studies, not yearbook.
I call it yearbook.
Come on,
Yeah,
say why it can't be called yearbook.
I've been
Yeah,
doing this
well-
43 years. I call it yearbook.
Why can't it be called yearbook? Why
Yeah.
can't you learn? Why can't it just be yearbook and you learn by doing the activity?
Oh yeah, you go to your boss, you say, "Yeah, I passed yearbook." What?
Yeah.
Here's a
He
catch. You
wants
can
to
say
call it
yearbook
yearbook. I
publishing.
think he should be allowed.
I passed yearbook editing and publishing. That's how they get by with that. Because that's what he's teaching. He's teaching editing and publishing.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I went back in the Stone Age, they had these. You had to get everybody's little individual yearbook picture, and you had to paste them on a board. You had to.
Yep. Yep,
take
yep.
out
What a
type
pain.
print and put it. Oh God, yeah, and it's
And you
that's
lithograph
that's why it took them all damn year. That's why it usually took them 3 years to finally. But when these people were seniors, they finally got our yearbook done because they'd been working on it for 3 years. You know.
Isn't that
Yeah.
what? Isn't that what it was called? A lithograph printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing was with yearbooks, they sent after they got this all assembled, then they sent it off to a publisher to have or to a printer, to a printing company who printed it and did the printing, the binding, and all of that.
Hmm.
So,
I got
Do
one
you
of my
guys-
I'm
students
jumping off. I'll
got
catch
a
y'all later.
one of my students got a 3D printer, and he says it's broken. I said, "Well, I've got a friend named David who will help you."
Which David?
You.
No, not me, because I'm not called David.
That's Mark. They sound
Mark.
alike, don't they?
That's Mark.
Just getting
Yeah.
them mixed up again.
Is David in here?
No,
He was
No,
in the
unfortunately.
he was in the chat earlier, but he's
Okay.
doing a blood test at the moment.
Okay. I thought that was David flipping me crap about your book. That was Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Mark. Yeah, yeah.
a
Yeah.
blood test at
And
11
I-
o'clock at night.
I can tell the difference. I don't know why.
Oh, sorry. It's in 12 hours time. My mistake. I just remembered. He's starting the fast now for 12 hours. Yeah, I got them
Oh, is he-
mixed up.
Oh, I thought maybe he was studying for it or something. Had to get off so he can study for his blood test.
His blood test, yeah.
He
I
studies
always
for a
studied.
blood test.
No,
That's called sarcasm there, Lance.
Okay.
Yeah, my mistake.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah. The type of blood test
I'll-
he's got
Yeah.
done means
I'll
he
just
can't,
turn around and sit in the corner for 5 minutes.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
can't eat
Yeah.
for 12 hours.
I got both of them mixed up. Yeah, sorry.
Where's David when you need him?
All right.
Yeah,
He's studying for his blood test.
yeah.
hmm
Uh,
Let's just hope he passes it.
okay. Kind of cloudy. I'm not going to fly on the way home, but tomorrow morning, I might have to send it someplace. And then Wednesday morning, I think I'm going to meet Angel at the Space Needle. We're going to go fly the needle before work.
I thought
If
you
I
could
can get-
only take pictures of the needle if it was just in the foreground of a general shot. I didn't think you were allowed to actually photograph the Space Needle on its own.
So somebody started that rumor, and it's not true.
All right.
Oh, okay. It's like we're not allowed to sing happy birthday on our
Yeah,
show.
we're not allowed to do anything these days.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
you can't. You
For a
can't
long
film-
time, you weren't allowed
That's
to sing happy
right.
birthday.
You
Yeah,
can't,
without paying
you
a
can't.
royalty.
You can't take pictures of the Eiffel Tower at night
Eiffel.
when it's lit up.
No,
I
you
was going to
can't.
mention that. Yeah, that was my next
Yeah.
bit of trivia I had up here that was
And what we shouldn't
taking
be
up space.
do- we shouldn't be able to have jokes told to us by art.
Yeah, that's another thing we should.
Oh God, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
And when you say that, because he never listens to this channel.
Oh, he does
And-
sometimes. You'd be surprised.
And look how many Eiffel Tower pictures there are on the internet lit up
Yeah.
at night. Millions.
Yep, try monetizing it.
So they don't. They don't go after folks.
They do.
They do now.
They
If
do.
it's a
They do.
monetized channel.
I mean, if you try and publish the photo, they will go after you.
They started that, what, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that?
It's been before that.
Is it longer
So,
than that?
so if you put it on your Instagram channel, are they going to go after you, Don?
I don't know. But they do go after some people. They don't have to attack. They don't have to try and stop every person to protect their copyright. They have to make an attempt to protect their copyright to show that they are still defending their copyright.
Right.
Otherwise, it'd cost them too much.
So they probably just say, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Maybe send out a cease and desist every once in a while, but
Mm.
Oh, man.
I will be back in just a minute, folks.
Laura tells me, shut up, Lance.
Okay, try out.
I like that, Lance. New name for Laura.
No, Joe?
No, he was in earlier and he had to go off to a basketball game. He was in for the first 20 minutes.
Got 3 games to photograph.
And Paul, did you fly this afternoon?
It's only his chair you're asking.
Oh,
okay. Here it is. Individuals can take photos of the Eiffel Tower at night for personal use and display them on social media. However, the rights holders to the Eiffel Tower's nightly displays could take legal action if they decide to pursue it. Professionals need to obtain prior authorization and pay a fee to use the image. And so they really chase after the people who are trying to profit from images used.
Yeah. Somebody just
from the Eiffel Tower?
The display at night, yeah.
Somebody that just publishes a holiday snap on Facebook isn't going to be bothered.
Yeah.
But if you're making little merchandise things or putting it on a t-shirt you're selling, I take it you'd have to gain a license, pretty much like most of the places over here.
Yeah. But did Lloyd go?
It's probably getting ready for his show.
Yeah.
What time does his show
No,
come
it's
on?
an hour and 45 away.
1 a.m. our time.
Yeah, it'd be 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern, midday for Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and 11 o'clock for people in Queensland.
So what is it Eastern time, do you know?
8.
What time?
8 p.m. Eastern.
8. Okay, 8.
Yeah.
7,
Because I
5,
think you went
5
to 6
o'clock.
Mountain.
5 p.m. your time.
Okay,
Yeah, 5
gotcha.
p.m. your time.
Sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't. It's hard for me to catch anything from 5 to 8 o'clock. Just because I'm trying to wind down from work.
Yeah. It'd be easier doing it between 5 and 8 o'clock here instead of doing it at 1 o'clock in the morning. But I don't know whether Drone Nation's going on, if Ron's having his media today, whether they'll just do it anyway without him. But he's the one that makes the agenda that nobody keeps.
Oh, definitely. He's the guiding star and the guiding light.
That's
Pretty
it.
much the captain of the team, you'd think.
Yeah. He does that agenda, and when they start talking about something completely different that's not on his agenda, he doesn't have try best to get it back on track again.
I wonder if they write times down, like from 5:10 to 5:15.
Yeah, that'd sound like that sounds like Ron.
Yeah.
And then at 5:16, we got to move to this one, and we've got to be done by 5:20.
That's it. And he has to get the words, in at least 50 times.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to get to all the topics, you have to do something like that. I guess it's almost like a regular TV show, right? You know,
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
you're going to keep it within an hour.
With that show
Yeah.
list, yeah.
But the
Yeah,
nice
Lloyd's
thing
back.
about like Johnny, you know, he'll go 77 minutes, or he'll go, you know, hour
Yeah.
and 8 minutes. You know, he's not too worried about that 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, which is good.
Well, it's a bit like Paul. Paul can do anything from like 13 minutes to 3.5 hours.
Yep, exactly. Until someone says, "Let's pack it in."
Yeah. Time to pack it in.
Where's Justin? What do you think, Justin? What are you thinking, Justin?
He's gone.
Justin was here. He's probably going playing Fortnite with Laura.
Yeah.
Well, Laura can be playing Fortnite if she told me to shut up. Probably went off to play after she told me. So, Mark, did you watch the Hawaiian golf tournament this weekend?
I didn't know it was at Kapalua, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's such a cool course.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I've walked it, and it's a fun walk.
I've played it on computer, but not obviously in real life.
Yeah. Do you play, what is it, WGT, or what's that called?
To be honest with you, I haven't played any of them for a long time now.
Yeah. I used to play Prodigy Golf. Did you ever play Prodigy Golf?
I don't think so. Doesn't ring any bells anyway.
So Prodigy was like AOL. It was like an internet service, right? Back in the 90s. And they had different games on there, and one of them was golf. And it was Jack Nicklaus Golf. And you could play, and you would play other players in the world, and you would send your score in, and they would send their score in, and then you would have a winner, and you'd move to the next match. It was kind of fun.
All
But
right.
you wouldn't play live. Now you can play live, but you know, this is back
Yeah.
in the 90s when there was no such thing as that. Technology did not exist for us commoners.
Yeah, I've played a couple of times on the one on that appears on Facebook, where you play another person somewhere else over one hole, or see who gets, is that 1 or 3 holes to see who gets it in the least, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's all right. But when I started work on, and would it have been when we got the computers in late 80s? Not when I started work, but in the late 80s when we first got the computers in the office, we always, a group of us used to play golf at dinner time. So, because we could stagger our dinners, one would go on for half an hour or so, and then somebody else would go on after that and play the same course. And we'd see who got the best score by the end of the day, kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Jack Nicklaus Golf was fun, and then you could design your own courses. And some guys would get really good at designing courses. And then they would upload them to a bulletin board, and you'd download them, and you would play their course. And yeah, it was kind of cool. Back in the 80s and 90s.
I know I've played.
Great movie, Jim.
I've played Tiger Woods' golf.
Before Dominic's time.
I'm sure there was one originally just called PGA.
Yeah, and then Tiger Woods Golf on the Wii. That was fun.
Oh no, I didn't have anything like a Wii.
I had a Wii this morning.
Yeah, I had one earlier too.
A devil? A Wii?
Yeah. I'm sure they will show the highlights of the golf again on Sky Sports Golf sometime during the week.
Yeah, it was outrageous scores. Like the last I didn't watch the very last couple of holes, but they were like 25 under.
I think the leader was it Morikawa that was leading after the second round. He was about 14 or 15 under.
Yeah, and he was leading after the third at 23 under.
Yeah.
Where were they playing at?
Kapalua,
Kapalua.
Hawaii.
In Hawaii, Maui.
Wow.
And it's not an easy course, not by
Well, that's
any
what I
means.
was going to ask. Is it an easy course or what?
Oh, it's not. Well, they must have got, if it didn't go much beyond where it was at the third round for the fourth round, then the wind must have got up.
Yeah. And then the course that the one that I like to watch always is the PGA West at the stadium. You know, they play the three courses, and then the very final day they all play at the stadium course. And I stayed at the stadium hole 13, so I really like to watch them play that hole. It's a little par 3.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see them play that. And I flew the drone over 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. I've got a pretty, it was a fun little edit that I was able to put together. Not during the tournament, of course. It was just some random weekend that I stayed there.
I think even though I have played Valderrama once, I think Carnoustie is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I've played that hundreds of times.
You know, and of course, I want to play St. Andrews before.
I have not played that. My dad has. I was really jealous of that. My dad got to play in a competition there for seniors, and I didn't get to go.
Both of my brother-in-laws, separate occasions, have played it. So I'm like, okay, that's on my bucket list. But I better do it pretty quick.
I played the Belfry a few times.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
And isn't it a rotation of 8 different courses they play at the Open?
Oh, God, yeah, it must be about at least 8.
Yeah.
Back into it now. It's Carnoustie, St. Andrews, Troon, St. Anne's, not St. Anne's, yes, St. Anne's, Lytham St. Anne's, that is. Brookdale, not Brookdale,
Brookshire, Brook.
Oh, no. It's just down the road from Lytham St. Anne's, to be honest.
Okay.
Birkdale, Royal Birkdale.
That's right.
St. George's.
So Lance, how's the weather up there?
Cloudy and dry. Little windy this morning, but it doesn't seem to be quite as windy, but very cloudy.
Yeah, well, it's been snowing on and off all afternoon here.
Okay. And how much snow do you have on the ground?
Couple inches.
That's cool. I like snow, but in the Pacific Northwest, it's just so hard to drive in because we are so hilly. We got hills you go for 2 blocks and there's a hill. There's a downhill and there's an uphill. It's crazy town. And
Now, do you have snow tires on or no?
I do not. No.
I don't have snow tires on either, but I know a lot of people do have snow tires on in the wintertime.
Yeah. See,
Lloyd, do you get snow out there?
Do what?
Do you get snow?
Oh, yeah, we get snow and we get ice. But we don't get it all the time. We'll go 2 or 3 years and just have a couple light
Like a
snows.
light
But
dusting? Okay.
yeah, but we've had snows. We had one that was 24 inches deep. We've had a couple, 2 or 3 of those.
Well,
And
can you imagine all those people in Washington DC? It's got 48 inches of snow.
oh yeah,
Jesus.
no. Well, I could because I grew up in Colorado, so I can understand the deep snows.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was outside of Grand Junction, a place called Grand Mesa, and we'd go up on there after the, winter had settled in, but it was like the roads were starting to open up there, and I'd go stand in front of it, and I was about 5'10" at the time, a little shorter now, but and you could see probably 8 to 10 foot of snow above my head because they'd come through and they with the plows and cut right through it, and it would just be huge snows. I had friends that had 2-story homes, and a lot of times they'd have to come out through the top story.
I'm
Because
gonna
it gets
drop
so
off,
deep.
guys. So I'll
Bedroom window. Yeah.
Hey, Dominic,
All right.
we'll see you in the morning.
yeah,
Or your
I'll
evening.
see you. And see
See you
you
later,
soon,
Dominic.
Lloyd.
Yep.
Well, not tomorrow morning, but tomorrow night.
Well,
But-
there's what I've got to deal with there.
Yeah. That's not too bad,
Yeah. Nice.
but
That
it
guy
is
was
nice.
driving
Yeah.
fast for that snow, wasn't he?
They've changed it. It's starting to cloud out. It's been sunny today, but it's starting to get cloudy again. So they're talking Thursday and Friday having snow here. So we'll see.
Well, what we're getting now is lake effect snow.
Right. Right.
It's coming down off the lake, and the closer you get to the rivers,
Yeah.
See, and if we got that much snow, Paul, we would close schools for at least 2 hours, late start or early
oh,
release.
really?
Yeah.
No,
anything over
they
an
don't-
inch,
they
usually.
don't do anything like that here.
Yeah, you guys are pretty flat. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, if we got snow like that, our schools would be closed all day.
Yeah. I think it was maybe Chris Waters. Because I was talking, it was a long time ago, and I was talking on my show one night about, we'd had snow and these people don't know how to drive in it just because, and I yelled out, like, oh my God, it's snowing. And he took that as a soundbite and just, I don't think it was Don. I think it was Chris Waters did it, and it was hilarious.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, no, it was Chris Waters. So
Jody, you're getting a lot of snow over there, aren't you? Jody says, "Oh, Paul just got a dusting."
And it's a tradition here to have, whenever it snows, have French toast.
French toast.
Apparently, my wife sends me to the store to get milk, eggs, and bread.
are you getting snow up there now? Or
We
is
got
it coming
some
in?
last night. We got some last night.
Oh, did you?
Yep, I woke up with just a little
Yeah, we
bit on the
don't
ground.
calling it French toast.
Most of it.
We don't like the French. We just call it eggy bread.
Okay, but yours isn't served with syrup either, is it?
You can serve it with whatever you want to serve it with, but I guess
Okay, so Jody just got a dusting, but JD, hanging with JD, you got 12 inches there.
Yeah, Kansas City got quite a bit.
Yeah.
And up by St. Joe area, a friend of mine up there posted a video where he got a bunch.
that must have been why they lost. All their players got stuck in the snow.
Maybe. It was near blizzard conditions up there, they said.
I hate it when the school zone changes. It went from 20 to 35, and it's like, really? Are you going to take a picture of me if I speed up to 35? Right in the middle of the halfway through my ride through the zone.
It's mostly melted off now, but we had earlier today, the neighbor kids will come up here with their sleds and slide down our hill because we actually have a slope in our yard.
Right.
And so I was like, oh no, I don't have sleds for the grandkids. So I went out over lunch and picked up a couple disc sleds because we're supposed to get more snow Thursday and Friday. So
There in Denver, where I lived over in Westminster, our streets were they built that whole and everybody's yard was terraced down. So you go at the top of the block and it was a downhill run all the way down and it gets snow packed and that was the first thing right after the first big snow. Everybody in the neighborhood came out with their sleds, their toboggans, their trash can lids, any damn thing they could find. And the idea was we were supposed to stop before we hit the bottom of the block, which was a cross street, which was a busy street. So you get zooming and then you're trying to stop. And most of the time, the best way to stop is just to roll off your vehicle.
we had
so your sled goes into the main road and it's something instead. Yeah.
Yeah, they can hit my sled, but don't hit me.
we had a hill here in town called Dover Hill. In fact, there was a famous song called "Let's Go Over to the Hill Called Dover" with Hitch Old Bob into the Sleigh. Anyway, I don't know if you've ever heard that song.
No.
Let's go over to a hill called Dover. Anyway, it was a kind of a popular hit back in 20s, something like that.
20s or 30s, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Tin Pan Alley song, but it was written about this hill over here in Joplin, and it came down. It was like a steep hill, and it ended in a ditch and a road, and they to help barricade they put rocks, like giant rocks, along the road right on this side of the ditch, so you'd get going down, and if you missed a rock, I mean, I saw people sometimes go out, launch over the ditch, and land in the road. And it was kind of insane.
Well, that was the other problem was because on the other side of the cross street was a pasture for this guy. This guy had this pasture land for it, and he never sold it. We had, we're in the middle of Denver, but he had horses there. Everybody would take their lawn clippings in the summer and dump it over the fence, The horses would eat it. And he had, appropriate type of wire so that when you came through, if you hit that thing, you could, so everybody's trying to skid and stop. And there a bunch of us got banged up down there.
We would most
What
of
a way
us
to live. That was fun.
try and dive off the sled towards the bottom of the hill so you don't hit the rocks or the road. And then later the city came along and planted trees all up and along to keep people from sledding there. And they just a couple of years ago built a school up there and did a lot of terraforming and killed the hill, which was kind of a sad thing to see it go.
Weirdly enough, when I was a kid, I had one of these proper wooden sleds with the runners and everything.
I had one of those.
We hardly ever get any bloody snow. God knows why.
Yeah, we had one, and you didn't really. The snow, it was no good for those runner sleds here because you'd cut through to the grass or the dirt. The runner sleds were horrible. What they were really good for was our street would get snow packed and iced. And that's what those were good for. Is when you got those, get the ice storm and then snow.
Yeah, that's what was great about our street because it was just.
Nowadays, they're all just a preformed sheet of plastic, aren't they?
I'm sure you can get those runner sleds still.
You can still buy them. Yeah, you go to like here in the States, you can go to one of the farm and ranch supplies, and they still sell any place that'll sells red. Let's see, what is it? Is it Red Rider or American Rider? The American Flyer,
Radio Flyer.
Radio Flyer. I knew it was something like that. If they sell those, because I had a Radio Flyer sled, and you lay on it, and that did not work. It's just sometimes
we would tie that sled to the back of my dad's truck, and he would just take us along country roads.
Right.
And the one time he decided he wanted to ride because it was a lot of fun, and he wanted to ride, so he got back there and let my mom pull him, and he was waving at her to stop, and she would not stop. She just was flooring it. And just dragging him down these country roads that were just caked up with snow. And I don't know how she didn't put us in a ditch because her entire purpose was to run him as fast and through as deep as she could. We got to where we were going, and he was wearing coveralls, and he unzipped it, and he had snow packed from neck to ankle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he should know better. He should never trust that woman because she's the devil incarnate. She was one of these people. He fell for these things constantly. She just loved pulling pranks on him because he'd always fall for the same ones over and over again. She'd come in, she'd make brownies, but she'd come in right before she'd say, "Taste this and tell me if it's sweet enough." And he would open his mouth every time. Whenever she said, "Taste this," she had no sugar in it, just pure cocoa.
Before she added the sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, she'd catch him in a movie. She came in, "Taste this milk and tell me if it's okay." And he took the glass of white milk and tipped it back. It was a glass full of salt. Went out. He was be working in the yard one day. He was out there. He was sweating and so she comes out, being super nice with a glass of lemonade on ice and everything for him. Ice cold glass of lemonade for him because he was hot and sweating. And nope, it was pickle juice. She had just poured into a jar over ice. But he would fall for it every single time.
Your mom sounds like that explains a lot of where you come up with your inventiveness and stuff. Because yeah, I was going to say that's.
She was a weird cookie. She went out one snow, and I'm talking. I was an adult at this time. She was, but she went out and in the front yard built a snow dick, complete with balls, and then she went around and collected twigs for the pubic hairs.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's
That is
probably a little
hilarious.
2.5 foot tall snow dick.
Yeah. Are your parents still alive or are they gone
Mhm.
now? They're both
Nope,
still
they're
alive?
around. Yep.
Good. How old are they? Probably in their 70s, 80s?
Coming up on 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet the grandkids are thinking, "Oh, grandma wouldn't do that,"
Oh,
Well,
no.
they might. Yeah,
My kids, uh,
They know the story?
they were around when she did it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but what about your grandchildren? They didn't, they weren't.
They don't know yet.
They won't believe it. They'll say, "Oh, that sweet, demure little great grandma."
Little great
No, she wouldn't do
grandma.
that. Yeah.
They're probably too young to understand the implication of it.
Yeah, they're too young to share those stories.
Right.
Yeah, you can tell the baby she won't understand what the hell you're saying.
Oh yeah, I tell her all kinds of stuff.
So, Don, what is the wife making for dinner, or are you making dinner?
I am heating up pulled pork.
Okay.
So
That's
when I
good.
make it, I smoked a couple pork shoulders. What was that, December?
Yeah.
And then bagged it up. Make quick dinners.
Yeah,
In
I
fact, I
forgot
got
to pull
my meals planned out for the rest of the week. Let's see. We're gonna do pulled pork tonight. I'm gonna make a pot pie tomorrow. We'll be doing potatoes and onions Wednesday. I'll be reheating a meatloaf and making sides for the meatloaf Thursday because I've got meatloaf vacuum sealed, and then ham and beans Friday.
There you go.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Well, I had
What kind of beans?
a roast
they'll
turkey
just be the brown.
Like a barbecue bean type of thing?
No,
Oh,
Pintos.
pinto
like
bean.
pinto beans in
Yeah.
a pot. Ooh, might do navy beans. I think I might have navy beans up there in the cabinet. I might be doing those.
I had a roast turkey dinner.
I forgot to pull the hamburger out in time, so I may be just having a microwave pot pie tonight
Hmm.
before my show. So
Sometimes those are good.
When
they are,
you
yeah.
call it a pot pie, you just mean that it's in the shape of a pot.
No, I don't know why they call them pot pie.
Me neither, because we just call them pie.
Yeah, meat pies, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, well, you can have anything in them, but
Right,
have-
chicken, yeah.
Now,
they
the,
have a,
the
they're a
typical
pot
pot
shape.
pie over here either has chicken and vegetables or beef and vegetables or
Vegetables or turkey and vegetables now.
turkey and vegetables, yep.
Yeah, with a
It has
with
well as a top,
gravy in it.
With a gravy in there, yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it has a base as well as a top.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a normal pie as far as we're concerned. And you can get anything in them, like steak and
What is that
and-
one they call them? Is it sinkers? Is that what they're called? Sinkers and vinegar? No.
Huh?
Oh, one of my mates down in Australia talks about it, and
No,
I
not
don't. It's some sort of meat pie, and they drop it in vinegar. I don't know why. It just
no, I've not
Yeah.
heard of that here.
not heard of that. And
No.
he's the guy from Manchester, so I'm gonna have to get in touch with him and find out.
We call them pot pies because the original name for the Pennsylvania Dutch pot pie, which we are accustomed to here in the U.S., was pot boy, a German phrase, and it was anglicized over time to pot pie. I wonder what that means in German.
So
Yeah.
what was it? What was it in German?
B-O-T-B-O-I.
Botboi. Pot boy.
That's what it says.
I really haven't come across that word before.
Now what is
I
the
did-
what is
I
the
did
history behind the poor boy sandwich?
I did do German. I've not heard that word.
Oh, Lance said his phone died mid-drive home.
In fact, I have got German cousins because one of my dad's brothers married a German girl and went to live in Dusseldorf.
I got German ancestors, but they're so far down they're so far back.
Let's have a
Well,
look.
this is. Did I say German?
Yeah, probably Dutch, isn't it?
Dutch.
Yeah. You did say they were Pennsylvania Dutch, though.
Oh wait, it was Pennsylvania Dutch, a German phrase that was anglicized. So,
Right.
So this says German. So let's look here. Why German to English?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Translate from Swedish. See if it did. Lived boy? No.
How do you spell it?
Well, it may be BS because it was an AI.
Now,
Oh,
is it definitely a B?
This is showing a B.
Because if it's like a capital B and the line goes down below the bottom of it, that's called a flush S, which is a double S.
That's awesome, but I don't know. I'm just telling you what the letters are showing up here on the Google search.
All right.
Let me look up this here. Etymology. Okay.
JD says, how are you doing, Donald?
How am I doing what? Some things
I
I'm
don't know,
doing
he says,
really
Donald, how
well,
are
and other
you?
things I have struggles with. So how am I doing? Oh, how are you?
Yeah.
You'd have to ask my wife, but I think I did okay. Pennsylvania Dutch bot boy. I don't know.
Well, everybody, I think I'm going to call it. Lloyd, you go get a nap.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go in there and fix me something. I had my nap before I came on here. That's why I was late
Okay,
getting
you're
on
going to
here.
fix
Yeah.
yourself some dinner. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna fix something for dinner for my show at 7. So
Donald, you have a good evening, and Mark, you take care, and we'll see all
I
of you
will try.
morning.
Yeah,
see
okay.
everybody in an hour or so.
Bye for now. What's in an hour?
My show at 8 o'clock your time, 7
8
o'clock
o'clock.
my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Lloyd.
See you.